Alright, what's up, reviewers? This is Smooth the Reviewer, and today I'm going to be reviewing Mushoku Tensei Season 2, Part 2, Episode 4? Yeah, Episode 4. And so, just to start this video off real quick, remember, I know I am, so behind on these reviews, so, if I sound like I don't, remember what's happening in the episode and whatnot, that's why, but your boy just had life stuff going on and all that. You know how it is. But anyways, so I'm just gonna jump right into this, just like I did the last video. Make sure you go check that video out. I just posted it I posted it either yesterday or the day before. But yeah, I posted my review of episode 3, and then I already had episodes 1 and 2 reviewed. So go ahead and check those out too if you want to. But anyways, getting into this episode, we finally have Ruijerd back in the story, at least for a brief few moments, And so yeah, I was really wondering when we were gonna see him again, Like I said in my previous video, it's they kind of just split up, and Ruizer just went his own way and all that, and that was I think we all know that was a very, sad moment for everyone, the gang just being broken up and whatnot. But hey, he's still doing, his usual things, I guess, still helping out children and all that. In this case, Rudeus's sisters, Aisha and Norn. So, so basically to start this off, Ruijerd basically tells Rudeus that he met Roxy. So, okay, I don't believe we've seen this in any episode. I'm pretty confident about that. We haven't. Y'all let me know in the comments, but we haven't. We never actually saw Ruijerd meet Roxy anywhere in any episode, right? Not to my knowledge. I could be wrong, but just let me know and all that. But But this is a pretty cool thing, He just met her when he was just traveling and whatnot, and Rudeus is obviously screaming to ask how she was and all that and whatnot. It's okay, calm down, Rudeus, bro. But anyways, she was scared to death of my forehead, And then we found out Roxy was the one that told him about the Superb, which is pretty interesting, So now I guess Roxy's view of Superbs have changed a bit now too, hopefully. But anyways, basically from this scene, what I really want to talk about is they finally get to Eris. I'm sure Eris doesn't hate you. That's what Ruijerd said, but she said the two of us. Then Ruijerd is but she said the two of us weren't suited to each other. And this is another thing that I want to ask y'all about. So we all know that at the end of season 1, Eris left Rudeus and left him a note too. Now, if I'm being honest, I do not remember what that note said at all. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys, and that's what I want your help. Can y'all tell me can y'all let me know what the letter said, and because this is something that's always confused me. I remember yeah, she said she had to go her own way and all that, But I also thought it was kind of off how Rudeus was just but apparently Rudeus just took it as completely her rejecting him in every which way. And is there any other meaning, and that's really why part 1 of season 2 really just kind of threw me off a bit, because look, I'm not surprised. I'm not saying I didn't understand why Rudeus was heartbroken, obviously because he loved Eris and she left him, but I didn't really understand why it was kind of he was acting like she was just completely done with her and she never wanted to see him again. I guess that's kind of why part 1 kind of threw me off for a bit. It didn't throw me off, but it didn't make sense to me. It didn't fully make sense why Rudeus was in the state he was to me, But y'all, like I said, y'all can explain further in the comments if you want. No, again, I feel like I have to say this every video, but no spoilers. Anime only here, no spoilers. But just tell me. You can talk about it just talk about it in the comments and all that, like about the letter and how you felt about part 1 and like this scene right here and all that. But yeah, so like hopefully, who knows when we're gonna see Eris again? That's what I'm wondering. Like, are we gonna? Is it gonna be next season when we're gonna see Eris again? Is it gonna be the season after that? Because I know Mushoku Tensei probably has like a lot of content that it could do. So like, I'm not sure how many seasons it could go on for, but like I wonder how long until we see Eris again, because we've seen Ruijerd again, after all this time. So, and like now he's with Sylphie and all of that, so it's like, yeah, that meeting between Eris and Sylphie is gonna be one interesting one, I'll tell you that. So anyways, we're gonna move past the intro here, and then we get this scene right here where Ruijerd and Badigadi apparently have beef with each other, because Rudeus just like hears like a thump outside, and then he sees these two just staring each other down, and see they are mad, and like Body just like walks off from this. Interesting. One would think that they were really about to go at it, but Body, I guess being the bigger man and whatnot, just walks away. Or I guess Ruijerd said he had no intention of fighting him either, so who knows. I guess both of them are. I guess Ruijerd has like definitely calmed down even more since they traveled together. Not so. Yeah, that's right. Because remember, Ruijerd was just like, "Hey, freak it, I'll kill him." Like he killed that like bug inside that the bug who was like a part of that like who was a part of, oh my god, his party. Him and his bug or whatever party members like captured like people's pets and whatnot, and then Ruijerd just like sliced his head off. Y'all remember that? Dang, that was a whole different Ruijerd back then. But anyways, moving past that, basically Rudeus tells him to stay for like breakfast and whatnot, and thankfully he accepts. So like we still get to see Ruijerd a bit more. He has a meal with Rudeus again. This is like a proper meal too. Like before they would always like be camping and eating each other, but now it's like they're actually sitting at like Rudeus's house, like a real private place. Like this isn't even like just like a room at the end. This is like Rudeus's house, and like their sacred sort of, I'm not gonna, maybe sacred's the wrong word, but you get what I'm trying to say. Their private place, and they eat together. And then we get this sort of emotional scene here where, Ruijerd has to say bye to Aisha and Norn, but Norn, oh boy, yeah, Norn she's still not too fond of Rudeus, because remember, he literally beat up their dad in front of her when she was like very little. So, looks like she's still, a bit traumatized over it and whatnot. But, Ruijerd's like, you can count on Rudeus in my place and whatnot. And, that's pretty cool. But, we'll see. I guess we'll just have to see how much those words actually mean as we go on. But anyways, moving on to this scene. Basically, this is the scene where, I guess, Paul left them a lot of, like, money and crap. I'm like, holy... This must be from him, like, exploring, like, labyrinths and whatnot, stuff he found in there and whatnot. Who knows? Anyways, he basically puts a letter to telling him to, like, enroll them inside of the school, too, Which is, yeah, interesting, because, like, think about it, all 3 siblings now, they could all be, like, good at, like, magic and whatnot. Like, a whole gray rat family of, like, magicians, but like then Paul being like the only sword person. that's funny. And then we get this flashback moment here where Rudeus like gave Aisha this hair thing. I'm gonna be honest, I don't fully remember. I remember this happening, but I don't fully remember. Is that Ruijerd's thing? Is that his like head wear and whatnot. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing, but like, whatever. All right, moving on from that, Norn, still, I don't want to go to school and all that. She's still being somewhat of a brat here, but basically they're both like, both of them still got to take the test, and like Rudeus tells her that he'll decide what like Aisha can do, because Aisha wants to be a maid. Okay, yeah, I should say that. Aisha wants to like stay at the house and like work as a maid alongside like Sylphie and all of them, and then Norn is just like, I don't really care, So definitely two different paths that Rudeus has got to figure out here, and that's why I like this scene. Because this scene right here, Sylphie and Rudeus are actually like talking to each other like a married couple dealing with children. Like, I think this is one of the things that makes Mushoku Tensei so good. It's like the characters' interactions is like Rudeus is still getting these like life experiences that you would get in the real world too. Like this is literally a husband and a wife talking about children that they're basically raising now, and he's and the wife is basically trying to help him, like tell him what he should do. So basically Sylphie is just like, don't push either of them to do anything they don't really want to do, it's at least Aisha right now. And then they're like, she's like, we have to take care of Norn too. And then Ryu says Sylphie is really reliable. She's like senior well, she is what the heck, bro? Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know if listen, we don't need to be reminded of Fitz, please. Me personally, yeah, that whole Fitz arc was so drawn out and not hype for me. Yo, if you've seen my previous videos, you know how I feel about Fitz. You know I did not like that portion of the story at all. But that's over. Don't mention it again, please. Moving on past this scene. This was a good scene. So, Aisha basically ends up getting a perfect score. I did not remember this. Perfect score. And then Rudeus is like, hey, yeah, you can like stay and work as a maid. Excuse me, little sister maid. And then Norn were not so good. Ooh. So basically, where this ends up leading to, basically, Norn asked to live in the dorm. So it's like I said just a moment ago. These are very two different paths these sisters are like going on. Aisha, she's smart and very good with housework, but Norn, not doing too well, and like still gonna go to the school and like live away. This is very interesting, because Rudeus interpreted this as if like she doesn't want to stay with them at all, and it's kind of hard to tell what Norn really wants, because like she's kind of like, she just has this like dead face this whole time, and it's like, why does she really want to stay in the dorm? Is it really because she doesn't like Rudeus? Does she, because she hated school, right? She didn't want to go to school either. So Norn is kind of feels like she's picking the lesser of two evils. Either stay with like in a household where like you don't like your older brother and whatnot, or just go read books and study math. But then we get this emotional scene here. Aisha straight up asks him, are you being nicer to her because my mom is just the mistress? Now this kind of hit me. I was not expecting something like this to be said, but like, when you actually think about it, why am I blanking on her name? Because I'm just your half sister, Lilia. There we go. Lilia is basically a mistress, I guess. But obviously Rudeus has never thought of her like that. But like, that's interesting. Like, I never thought. Because, like, last time we saw, like, Aisha and all that, there wasn't really a feeling that, like, she felt, like, out of place or anything. Because, remember, Lilia and Aisha were still living with, Rudeus's mom and his dad and Norn, okay? So, I wonder if down the line we're gonna see like when they were spending time together and while Rudeus was like away dealing with Eris and all that. I wonder if we're gonna see like some flashback moments to see if like Rudeus's mom like treated Aisha differently, you know? I mean, we already know that like Rudeus's mom like kind of made up with Lilia, but you know, there still could be some resentment there, you know? And even to like Aisha to an extent, because obviously, you know, Lilia's daughter and Paul's like basically Paul's bastard daughter. That's kind of interesting. You know, we always hear like in stories it's always like a bastard son and all that, you know? Am I crazy? Like discuss this in the comments. Like, am I crazy? Is it always like the bastard son? Like, don't we very rarely get like bastard daughters and all that, you know? I mean, we probably have bastard daughters, but it's like the bastard son is like the focus more so, you know? We never get like a bastard daughter as like the main like focus of like any kind of like hatred or anything from like other parties, you know? That's interesting. But anyways, that was again a pretty good scene. Like, I enjoyed that scene thoroughly. So yeah, and then this is, you know, Norn heading off to the dorms, and you know, Rudeus basically trying to reassure her that he's there for her and come back and like visit them and all that, you know. You know, it's cool. Rudeus is actually trying to like build this relationship, you know. He's not, and this is also thanks to Sophie's advice too, you know. He's not really trying to rush it. He's just trying to let her do whatever he wants, whatever she wants. And you know, he's just reassuring her that he is there for her, you know. And that's pretty cool. It's pretty good. And then we get this time skip. This time skip was like kind of crazy. It just happened like just like that, you know. So Norn is still kind of like avoiding him, but then we get, oh my gosh, this last part of the episode, guys. Oh my gosh. It took us a whole month to prepare it. Dude, I'm not even gonna waste time. I'm gonna just go to it. Basically, Linnea and Presenta stole underwear, guys. They stole like other girls' underwear and gave it to Rudeus. I was so curious as to what was in the bag. This bag right here that he's holding, I was like, they had a present for him, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. Dude, I thought it was gonna be like a dead animal or something, like a dead animal's like head or something, but it was. These girls literally went and stole other girls' underwear. Like, that is wild. That is so wild. Like they straight up just bullied girls into giving them their underwear. Like, how does that even happen? Like, this is the fantasy part. This is one reason why I love anime, and another reason why it's like so ridiculous, because in the real world, you could never imagine a girl just being, I mean, you probably can, but it's like a girl being bullied into giving her underwear away. Like, just imagine you're a woman, and these two girls just come up to you and tell you to give them your underwear. You're gonna be like, what the hell? Get the freak away from me. And like this, yeah, I don't know. This was just crazy. And then we find out, and then we get this little funny moment here where like the princess basically, Sophie's like, I'm glad, I thought I couldn't satisfy you, but the princess was like, nah, that wouldn't make sense because you guys were doing it rough. And she basically baited this princess. You know, Princess Ariel is like smart, bro. She baited these two into revealing that they actually do it rough. Like that that was funny too. That is actually funny. And then we kind of get this last, it didn't just kind of skipping past all this, you know, Rudeus scorns Linnea and Presenta. He tells them about Norn and all that. But then the episode basically ends here where Norn is basically becoming a shut-in. Norn is becoming a shut-in like Rudeus was in his old world. So this is gonna be interesting how they're gonna build off of this, because Rudeus literally already went through this in his previous life, and now it's like I'm excited to see like how he's gonna help her out, you know, because this looks like what it's leading up to, that she is like, you know, can't feel like she can consolidate in anyone, and she's like locking herself away too. So that is going to be interesting to see. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.